Joining us now is Mimi. Haley Weinstein was convicted of assaulting her in his Manhattan apartment in 2006. She's joined by her attorney, Gloria Allred. Gloria, welcome back.
Thank you.
As well. So, Mimi, just take us to that moment when you heard the verdict.
I was actually in a coffee shop, and when it kind of popped up on my screen from a friend, and I just sat down and I started crying, and then I had to go out into the street because I don't know how to be crying in a coffee shop, but it was just a huge sense of relief, just a relief that the jury got it, that they believed me, and that I was heard, and yeah, I was just grateful that they got it.
And it came after you had to make a very tough decision to take that stand. Must have been difficult.
Well, yes. I mean, it was terrifying, you know, terrifying. But after a lot of thought, I just felt that it was the right thing to do and something that I wanted to follow through with. So, so that's why I did it.
In some ways, you stand for so many of the accusers, so many of the women who've been victims, part of the Me Too movement right now. What do you think it means for the accusers and the movement?
Well, I just think that it gives me hope that we're making progress, that this verdict, and I just feel like we're being educated about the reality of sexual assaults and sexual assault victims and what that many times involves, and that a lot of sexual assault victims do know their attacker and they have some sort of relation to that person, and that brings with it a whole nother layer of emotional confusion that you need to process through, and I think that's what we need to realize, that it's not, you know, we need to like get rid of, and I think we are getting rid of a lot of outdated ideas about these kind of assaults.
And Gloria, we talked to Ronan Farrow about this in our last half hour. It does seem that Cy Vance, the prosecutor of Manhattan DA, was right when he called this a new day for how these cases are handled and adjudicated.
It is. And also, I want to say how brave, how very, very courageous she was, because Mimi had to face very intense cross-examination on the stand, and she had to take the oath and swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, and then hours and hours of cross-examination. So I want to say how proud I am of her and of my client, Lauren Marie Young, who was one of the Molyneux witnesses, prior bad act witnesses, who also testified in this case. She's one of the two victims in the Los Angeles case that will follow.
She's coming, yeah. And
Annabella Shora, my client, who is really a role model in courage and very inspiring. And she did what she did. She testified. She made many sacrifices because it was in the interest of justice to do so.
How do you gauge the not guilty verdict on those charges?
You know, it's a very high burden of proof, guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. And, you know, she told her truth. She stood in her truth. She refused to be intimidated, and she was very authentic, and many people said she was an exceptional witness in this courtroom. So, you know, she did what she had to do, and that's what's important. This is about the empowerment of women, about women refusing to stand silent when they have been the victims of gender violence. And he could face a sentence because of Mimi's courage of 10 to 25 years in prison, and then he has to face also the LA charges. So he may never come out of prison.
And you're going to have the chance to speak, if you choose, at the sentencing of Harvey Weinstein, to give a victim impact statement. Do you intend to do that? What do you intend to say to him?
I do intend to do that, but yeah, well, not. I'll figure out what I'm saying. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, and that's March 11th, and then on to Los Angeles very quickly, where he will be arraigned on the charges. So I want to say there's still time for more victims to come forward and testify potentially in LA, and I hope that they do so, because it's not over until it's over. It's not over yet.
Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.